Hello everyone, this is the Mad Salvi letting you know that unless things are proven with Twitter posts and stuff like that and have actual proof behind it, treat everything in this thing as a theory. I will try to mark certain things as news and theory and everything like that to kind of let you guys understand, but also, you know, use a critical mind, and I hope you do enjoy. Every single first-gen liver VTuber talent under First Stage Production JP is leaving the agency August 31st. To those that don't know, First Stage Production is a Japanese VTuber agency managed by Reality Studios, which also manages 3 other agencies, Specialite, Vbop, and RK Music. You might have heard about the First Stage and Specialite since they have EN members too. Put it briefly, March 9th, Azuki Akazaku Machi, one of the male members of First Stage JP Gen 3, was indefinitely suspended 5 months after his debut, then terminated 16 days after that. Apparently, the management revealed to all talents back then that he committed a termination-worthy violation of some sort, and then Gen 1 informed their manager they all wanted to graduate together. I looked up to some more stuff and found out something more about the first gen, not exactly what is related to this, and it's worth mentioning. Originally, the first step JP had 7 talents, all debuted in March 2023. Out of the remaining 3, 2 of them got terminated in November, 1 of them was suspended 3 weeks after debut, and the other got suspended in October. The third one announced the suspension of our activities on platforms at the end of November, then graduated in January. Not sure if she has a graduation stream or not, her channel got nuked. So this looks to be a very bad handling of situations. One of the horror stories, I guess you would call it. Bad handling of the whole situation. Let's take a look what it says. This is the provided translation. Notice regarding the graduation of first generation, thank you so much for your continued support. We would like to inform you that as of August 31st, 2024, the 4 members, Amae 10, Rose Swing, Kamiori Shihai, and Akane will graduate from First Stage Production. We are very sorry to announce this, but respecting all the members' wishes to graduate together as all 4. So they wanted a solidarity. Whenever there's something like solidarity, that leads me to believe that something really bad was afoot behind the scenes. Either they're angry with management, they don't like the way management handled one of the livers' terminations. So to get to the point where this all happens, something on the management side went wrong, horribly wrong. All activities will conclude on August 31st, and they will graduate from the agency. The first generation members were the founding members when our agency was established March 2023. And despite various ups and downs, they have been active and loved many fans up to this point. In early days of our establishment, amidst a tentative operational policy, they worked on various activities to create agency's identity. We sincerely appreciate everything they have done so far. So at the very least, their notice is doing well so far. Regarding activities after August 3rd, in line with their desire to end on a positive note, there are no plans for activities such as graduation streams. But the accounts will remain public until August 31st, and the content shared until then will be each individual's discretion. So as of today, they are not making any more content, but their stuff will stay up until August 31st. For any inquiries related to this matter, please contact First Stage Production. Do not contact the talents. And here is the other part that they said. We sincerely apologize to our fans for the sudden announcement and help you better understand the graduation. We would like to provide the following chronological updates. On the evening of July 4th, it was communicated to each talent that Akazaku Machi had committed a violation equivalent to contact termination. And that night, all 4 members of the first generation expressed their desire to graduate to their manager in a meeting with all 4 present. The request stated that regardless of who leaves the agency and whatever manner, it was merely a trigger. And they intended for all 4 members of the first generation to graduate together to begin with. So this may not actually be management issues. This may be them hiding management issues, hiding the fact that it was management issues, but we don't know. After discussions with each individual by the management representative, they affirmed that all 4 wanted to graduate before the August Comiket, and they held a meeting among the 4 to ultimately announce their graduation within August and conclude their activities. The policy was to switch to minimal appearances at Comiket, and while they would still sell merchandise regarding Amano 10's virtual sales role, they deliberated whether they would make it a final appearance for memories or the platform for the continued activities of the remaining talents. After careful consideration, the management representatives decided on the latter when prioritizing the intention of all 4 members of the first generation to want to graduate, including timing of the explanation. The management was aware that this would be an announcement in form not commonly seen. Therefore, they provided detailed explanations to ensure understanding and acceptance from the fans. Additionally, we kindly request that you refrain from expressing opinions or questions regarding this matter concerning the talents from the second generation and beyond. Basically, don't bug any of the remaining talents about this situation. Unless they talk about it, don't talk about it. That's just being polite, for goodness sakes. Regarding the handling of projects, merchandise accounts, archives, see below. Amaya 10's virtual sales representative, as announced on July 15th, there will be a change in platform and performers. We sincerely apologize for the fans who have prepared for this. Related projects for Kamiyori, Shihai's birthday, and Rose Swing's second pitch event. After discussion with the individuals, we have decided to not proceed with these events, so they've canceled those events. First generation merchandise sales period. All sales, including latest Comic Kit merchandise to existing items, will end on August 31st, so at least the merchandise will still be there in case you want to get the merchandise before they graduate. So that's good, at least. Fan letter reception, we will accept letters postmarked by August 31st. YouTube and X accounts, Amaya 10, Rose Swing, Kamiyori Shiha, everybody, all accounts will be set up private on August 31st. YouTube will have archives set to private, and posts on X will be deleted and set to private. Accounts other than Amaya 10's will be set to private on August 31st. For Amaya 10's account, we will proceed with the private setting after canceling the partnership program. So they're going for first completing their contract and then being done with it. Possibility that the cancellation may not be completed by August 31st. So for those who have paid subscriptions to Amaya 10's Twitch account, please note that due to Twitch's specifications, there's a possibility of being charged even after graduation. So we kindly ask that you cancel your subscription sequentially. So cancel them before you get charged again, pretty much. Because Twitch can be weird. Twitch is just weird sometimes. It really is. So this still leaves some questions to be asked. This still leaves some questions because the fact that they all wanted to be together, it could be a camaraderie thing. It could be, we don't want you to feel alone in your graduation type of thing. Or it could be, we've all had issues with management since the beginning and want to get out together because that is the best way that we can do things. It can be any way of those things. Of course, management isn't going to mention that. Of course, the agency isn't going to mention that. The only way we know is just in case if some of the talents mention that in their PLs or in some other way or form, or do, like Sayu did, my friend in the company said this and that, my friend said this and that, or, Bethany, as Michi Mochi V has said, if things like that come out, then we will know more about what's going on. But for now, they are all going to graduate at the same time, and that is all we know. Here we have something going on, apparently, with Vox Akuma. Let's take a look. I used to rule the world. Oh, this is that, was it Morrissey? Whatever. Roman Catholic choirs are singing, that type of thing. The bells are ringing. That song. Some stuff is taking a bit longer than to finish than I expected, rendering a few things. Gonna delay a tiny bit, start at 11:30 JST. These are the chats that they had during a stream. I'm sorry, everyone, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I can't do this today. The stream stuff is ready, but I'm not. I'm so sorry this happened again. I'll work very hard to make it up to you. Just not my day. Worked hard on the stream all day. The brain is having a very, very rough one out right now. Definitely need a hug. I hope soon I can be in a good mood, a good enough position to do this kind of thing without stretching myself so thin. Have a great next week. We'll have a great week next week. I promise. Love you so much. Thank you for being so patient with me. Trying to be a strong demon for you. Won't give up. Here you have. Stream suddenly had Wi-Fi issues and about 10 people immediately dipped. 10k people immediately dipped. So we're going to try again. Seeing it happen made me lose focus and I want these streams to be good. So we redo. On the bottom, I feel absolutely gutted, but Susan absolutely destroyed the stream minutes after starting. We're going to be trying again because Susan Wojcicki is not there anymore. I don't know who the heck is there now, but they're not there anymore. But yeah, okay. On the one side, it's not good to, have this type of thing going on, and it can lower your desire to stream on the one side. On the other side, we have Fox, who has done a lot of things in regards to being fujoshi baiting and these types of things. It could be a bait. We don't know. It could be a bait. And that's the thing. You get to see it on both sides. A little bit of context goes a long way. Could we get some context here? I hope you post a lot about the counterproductive low effort rage bait post that plagued the subreddit. And yeah, it's basically spoken here. I don't really like Vox when the black stream, and afterward, every time I remember him scoffing during his segment, I still kind of get pissed off. He's been a but foster unhealthy fan base. Overall, not my type of person. Kicking someone when on one of their lowest days, when all they wanted to do was stream for regular fans. We all know his numbers are way down and his reputation is shot to S. We get it, consequences and all that. Only thing any color related to OP's post is Vox doesn't seem to be getting premium support for mental health right now. And that's not good. That overall is not good. Like I said, I do not like kicking people when they're down. If he's actually feeling that way, if he's actually feeling down that way, I have had those situations before when I'm feeling down because things just don't seem to be going right for me, that type of stuff. So that is a situation, of course, that I fully understand, I fully support, and I am, someone that wants them to be in the best position that they can, mentally and emotionally. But yeah, there's very very, very little chance for sympathy for most cases, but still, in this one, I do send out my sympathies for the situation. It seems now that all the fandoms, whichever one they may be, the Chinese fandoms, the Malay fandoms, the Taiwanese fandoms, whoever they may be, Hong Kong fandoms, seem to have been noticing the decline of Nijisanji. This is what it was here, VTuber here, Selen Tatsuki, stuff just seeing the original, and here was the Google Lens one. Vtuber, the concert was forced to be cancelled, no tickets were sold, the cancellation of the concert had a negligible impact, question mark? How much damage did Selen Tatsuki's controversy bring? The well-known Vtuber agency, etc, etc. How will it affect their legacy? Like they said, negligible. What legacy if this keeps up? They will have nothing worth remembering after a while. They will be, in a word, negligible and also forgotten. Unfortunately for their VTubers, I think that might be a thing. Hard to be forgotten on the EN side when a company brought down the psyche of one of their most beloved hepatic organ to the point almost log off from life. And JP side has Motoru, Roa, and the other person who was an S offender, etc. We also have ID stories. This person gives a little bit more context to the whole thing. Being precise, video from Taiwanese fandom, not use of traditional Chinese. Most Taiwanese and Hong Kongers are sympathetic to Dokibird. Malay channel with significant viewership in Taiwan and other Chinese language communities, so this actually ended up being a Malay channel. So they corrected it, it was a Malay channel. Fortunately, a vocal minority in China seemed to dislike Doki because she has Hong Kong and Canadian background. China and Canada do not have the best relations, particularly since the Meng Wanzhou arrest incident, and because apparently she once used that S to refer to Chinese national anthem. Yes, it was a moment where she got angry. She goes, I don't want to hear that S anymore. She wasn't saying that the anthem itself was S, but she was like, it was like in a frustration moment. She was woken up to it at every single freaking, I think it was like 2 hours or whatever, or however it was. It was way too often for her. She was trying to get some sleep. She was annoyed, and she said, I don't want to hear that S anymore. It's like, if I say that to the national anthem, it's like, I don't want to hear that S anymore if it's being played all the time. I'm not saying it about the national anthem, but I'm saying it because I'm annoyed at it being played, which isn't even offensive in context, but you know, nationalist statements, the sentiments work there. There is an extreme video of one burning Selen plushies with quite a few views. I remember that whole incident. It was months back when she mentioned it. And yeah, it was a nothing burger, but of course, you know, nationalists always do that. Channel description says they're in Malaysia. Accent doesn't sound Taiwanese. Some parts are a bit out of place in this video, so keep calling Niji fans or VTuber fans as players. So it's a weird thing, yeah. I guess I'm going to need more popcorn. Well, that sucks for them. Niji virtually has no market to go to. Japan is crowded and everywhere else knows Niji's controversy. So yeah, it's going to be hard for them to go. It sucks for the livers. It sucks for the VTubers in EN specifically. The Japanese VTubers, they stick with their Japanese audience and they're fine. But the EN side's trying to, you know, cater to the outside audience, and that makes it a lot harder. Pretty famous channel. I think that's the one in Malay Chinese. I watch it myself and check its bias. Bias report, neutral towards Niji. I.e. they really effed up. Over positive toward Hollow. Notice it doesn't even mention Face Connect or VShoujo themselves are also part of this S that need NA VTubing watching. So yeah, they have their biases. I have mine. I try to keep it in check, but they do pop up on occasion, and you guys correct me, and I thank you for that. I think this is a good question to see be answered in the community because I wasn't sure who was faster. Lighten up things up a bit from regularly scheduled drama. Some 3D, might be the fastest corpo debut with 3D so far. Or am I wrong? I mean, I think Hollow X got a faster 3D. Like it could be wrong. Hollow X got theirs in about half a year after debut. So yeah, a lot of them it's 1 year here. I think they're slowing down when it comes to that, but at least they got it. They got it pretty quick, and they got it sooner than a lot of Nijisanji, unfortunately, for the VTubers in Nijisanji. Did any color have anyone that got 3D that fast? Or to be fair, in the early days of EN, both cover and any color COVID was still a thing, so they couldn't really go to Japan even if they wanted to. Man, it's been 4 years, both COVID and EN. Yes, all that kind of stuff has pretty much been insane these past couple of years. Same time, it feels like time has passed so quickly. Imagine we're already halfway to 2024. I wonder what the rest of the year will bring in essence of 2025. Hollow X had it faster, but I could be wrong. Shiori is cute as F. Comparison to other gens of the EN branch, it is fast. But then again, you had the CV stuff, pulling a hamper on any official 3D stuff, of course, because they couldn't travel. A lot of countries were closed to travel, and travel was extremely restricted to, a necessary business. Now, while only restrictions are with travel and the studio is booked so far into the future that EN can't just have a random 3D events anymore, let's say get their own studio or do the VR chat thing. Though that may change once Cover has a proper US office going, though they will always be borrowing Altair's 3D studio. I do wonder though if Shiori has her 3D equipment. I asked because when she was Natsumi Moe, she did 3D videos quite often. So, in her past life, she did 3D videos quite often. She might have her own 3D studio, maybe, But also there's another thing. Remember, Amelia Watson is basically their 3D guru right now in creating 3D studios. She helped Kiara create her own home studio. So you can do it with like an index and like base stations and things like that. You can do your own 3D studio, of course, on the cheaper side of things. If you want to go into the higher end of things, there are mocap suits and also base stations for certain mocap things, like what Sayu's doing. So there's all different options that you can have. She already did a handful of 3D streams using fan-made chibi models, so I'm sure she'll make good use of her official model as well. Cover US office is about selling merch and venue, not audition or 3D studio. Wasn't there a company that gave their new gen 3D in a few weeks or less? Oh, possibly. It's possible. V4 Mirai might have been one of those. Realistically, it takes 3 to 4 months for a member to have a 3D debut. Brave Goose V4 Mirai had it in about 6 weeks. The Christmas concert, their 3D live Christmas concert, that was 6 weeks. That's insane for any corporation. So overall, yes, they got it pretty quick. It wasn't super quick because of the fact that a lot of times the travel restrictions were still through, and the 3D studio wasn't fully made until recently, and things like that. So it's still faster than a lot of other agencies do it, but not as fast as even the fastest ones like V4 Mirai. Like, holy crap, 6 weeks is insane. An OG EN VTuber, Pending, helped write the script. That's the name, Pending. Helped write the script for Shiori Novella's 3D debut. Amazing work today at Shiori Novella. So happy to be able to help out with the script for the 3D debut. Thank you so much for your help in writing. It was great to be able to help. Now, to give some context, if in the name Pending seems familiar to you, that's because it was also co-author of Shiori's visual novel, Snowed In. Pending's responsible for bringing us the wonderful scripts that help Shiori show off how unique she is. Pending's a writer by trade, but also a VTuber, one of the first ever EN VTubers, in fact. He enjoys visual novels, RPGs, and just general shenanigans, especially its fellow OG friends. So if you enjoy wholesome vibes, witty humor, chill streams, why not check him out? Edit, I nearly forgot. If you'd like to see Pending react to Shiori's 3D debut with his friends, check out a stream for Asu. PL info ahead, of course. Makes me very happy to see Shiori has been able to keep close friends from her days as her past self, even if she's in HoloLive. In particular, Pending was probably one of her best friends back when she was her old self. I'm very glad that she's able to give the opportunity to continue working with her. Between that and taking time to hang out with her old friends IRL, it's nice to see she's not leaving behind where she came from. It's very good to see that. I am not surprised. Shiori does seem like the type of person to be that way. In fact, almost everyone that is a large VTuber, unless they've shown otherwise, do seem to be the type to at least keep in touch with friends, try to keep in contact with friends, try to see friends when they can. Me, being autistic the way I am, I don't have that, unfortunately, but I do congratulate the people that are that way, and I kind of envy them a little bit. If you know, you know. Fauna has Arcan, Shiori has Pending. You see their old friends supporting them so strongly. It's always good. I don't swing my Pending stream as nearly as much as I should, or as its quality deserves. I've never had a bad time at them, and they're always pretty creative, so I'm not surprised to see him lend a hand here and there with talents. I'm glad that a friend was able to lend a hand. That's the best thing that can happen for a wonderful, and it was a wonderful 3D debut. Enough that I gave, my own little super chat here and there, just to, give them support where I can. Just a small one. It's not like a freaking $50 super chat. It's like a $2 one, but still something. The memes, Mason, the memes. And what is this about? This is including Parrot 4chan. Sell, 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 sell. Kurosanji stock bros before the Japanese stock market closed be like sell. Yes, they're trying to sell. They're not going to be able to, but they try to sell. They won't be able to because there are always limits. This has gotten out of hand. He is multiplying. He has gotten in with the females. And now he's multiplying. Oh my god, there's more of them. It's insane. I have to feed them now. What the hell do I feed a parrot? Gosh darn it, what do I feed a parrot? At least they don't own Intel stock, I guess. Images you can hear. I love that guy, he's funny. One has to wonder how many circuit breakers does any color have to hit before the actual investigation is done. Yeah, it's just basically one of those things. So, love seeing these things with Parrot 4chan and anybody else. Love seeing memes. KevinX has been getting himself into a lot of different controversies, it seems, recently. This one right now is with Rigger. KevinX is getting in trouble with artist Nanoless because they changed the art without permission on Ironmouse's cotton candy model. And here is how aggressive they went after this. This was like serious for them because it's an artist thing. I'm not an artist, so I wouldn't fully understand, but it's like taking your work and just being like, F it, it's not good, and just changing things. I effing hate this because this should be the original chest and he modified it without my knowledge. I clearly state that I offer free fixing for the rigger until model is done and good. So the original is here, and the rigger made it even bigger, and that's the issue that they have because there was certain restrictions, I guess, that they wanted. They wanted it to fit the style. They wanted it to fit everything, that was requested. I don't know, like, we are not privy to, we do not know any of the internal stuff that was going on. We do not know any of the other things that were going on. So I don't know what was going on between them and Ironmouse, or them and VShojo, or them and anything, and why, you know, the boo-boo was made bigger. Necklace template needs some work. Oh yeah, the necklace template does need work. Everything was connected, or everything should have been connected. Just because they wanted to make big booba doesn't mean you have to disconnect the freaking necklace there. That needs to be worked on. I don't know how you're gonna do that. I don't know how you can keep it attached. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I don't know what's going on in Vtube Studio, Vtube Studio, I believe it is. Hang on, that's effing insane. There was more definition. You can see here as well, more definition, more blush, and then it just became a wall of boobs, it looks like. So that was, yeah, that's really, I can understand this. It did fully change. It did fully change. I didn't think it was modified. I can definitely understand this now. Looking at it, it was not good. You changed everything that had to do with that. They had the right amount of blush. They had the right amount of definition on all of them, and it just became this. I don't know, for boobo reasons, it became that when the artist had made it really, really well done. And like I said, they clearly state that they offer any free fixing for the rigger until model is done and good. Gosh, I didn't know this was modified. Thank you for showing this. I had no idea. It made it sad to see. I personally love your models and all the variety that's in them, and can only imagine how frustrating this feels. I love your work. I was not in direct communication with you, and I fixed the pearl immediately after I noticed the attachment because body X reverse is enabled. I forgot to test it. I gave you the reason about boob shading with the video explanation, and I was willing to update. This is something you brought up because I questioned it. I was willing to fix it, but I personally just gave up. You're correct. But thank you for your service. This will never happen again. So the things were going well. We collabed many times before, and we are both satisfied with our results. I don't want this one-time reason made you grow hostile on me. I worked hard on this model, and I still love your work. At least we could be neutral, and that's good. This whole discussion could have honestly been handled in private, maturely by both of you. Not only does this create unnecessary drama around the mouse, which she definitely has more to worry about in her life, it wasn't any situation where you couldn't talk to each other. That's the issue. There could be more communication internally. I can understand the frustration of the artist, to be perfectly honest with you. I can fully understand it, because it feels like, you know, things were disregarded. As it mentioned here, it says, and you said so too. I've been waiting for your reply. You know, hey, as Hexa pointed out here, this wasn't about the pearls. It's about the change in the art and the shading. The pearls isn't the issue. It's the art and the shading that's the issue. And I think that as well. Now I can't unsee it. It looked way better before the boob enlargement. Not cool, my dudes. A lot of people think it's not a cool move. Didn't you say you communicated about this before? The model was finished in a separate tweet. You're lying out. Yeah, it's basically, I can understand. I'm not a rigger. I'm not a rigger, and I'm not an artist, but I can understand the artist's frustration with this. I'm just going to say it that way. It got fixed, and it got explained by both of them. They're both going to, you know, make sure that things don't happen again. Maybe they won't talk to each other. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll be adults about it. Who knows? But this should have been handled privately, number one. But even if it was handled publicly, because sometimes that's the only way you can get things heard, communication always helps. This person here, Yamien, is debuting a V avatar. Who was Yamien? They were, according to was put here, person was Mayuzumi Kai. Wouldn't have expected her. I think it's a him. I think it's a him. According to what this is saying, it's a him. It's a male VTuber affiliated with Nijisanji, debuted along Ars Almo. If it's the same Mayuzumi Kai, if it's the same Mayuzumi Kai, if it's not, then I apologize, but this is what I'm getting. This is the information that I'm getting here. Debuted alongside Ars Almo and Aiba Uiha, known as the Trio Blues. They ended up retiring 2022. Again, sometimes the gendering of Japan is interesting, because the words can be he or she, or you know, it's weirdness in the language for us who speak the, you know, English in the West. Not necessarily their language being weird or anything like that, just it can be confusing. It's going to be live in 16 hours as of what I'm doing, and it does look, I think it's male presenting at least, so it is a good thing for them, because they are now going to be moving in a positive direction. And I like doing these types of things, because ex-livers of Nijisanji need to be promoted whenever they can. If they left on their own accords, if they were terminated, whatever. Of course, do not remind them of who they were. Do not mention who they were unless they themselves mention who they were. Do not go and do that, because that is disrespectful to the community that they're now making and the VTuber themselves. If you leave and you now rebrand yourself, you do not want to have your brand popularity be dictated by who you were. You want to be seen by what you are now. and that's the respect I will give them as well. They are and will always be Yamian, and Yamian is the one that's going to be doing this VTuber debut. So we'll take a look and we'll see how it goes. Welcome everyone to our VTuber showcase for this episode. We have now, and as you know, this is the VTuber showcase is a place where I give back to the community that has given so much to me and try to put a spotlight on many creators that maybe you did not know about, and just bringing them out into the open and let them be seen by many other people out there. Now with now that just sounds funny, but here we have them pushing out their anniversary donathon stuff, their stretch goals. They have very reasonable stretch goals when it comes to all their things. They're not like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. They're all within a certain range. They're gonna be doing donathon soon. They're gonna be doing all these things right here, and like, she is promoting other people, which is a great thing to do. Let's take a look first, of course, because I want you to see them. I want you to see what they do. Have them here talk about it in their own words.
Snipping the snappy snap, snippy. Snipping the snappy snap. Yeah, I need my pee-pee. Oh, you do? What do you need it for? What do you need it for? You need that, you're sure I can't have it? Can I have your pee?
Oh, there you go. Well, that's a thing. That's a thing that can be asked. Yes, that is a question that can be asked. So there's a little bit of the personality of now, and gonna go into basically they have been streaming consistently. It looks like also the reason why you don't see a lot of things happening here on their Twitch does have a weird thing where sometimes things don't get saved, and the highlights / things, which are things that you can update yourself, get saved instead. It says, I'm a demon who loves to hang out with chat and drink absurd amounts of energy drinks. I do a lot of content centered around games, typically calmer games where I can focus on chat, but there will also be occasional FPS games and more intense games. You can also find me drawing and occasionally working on commissions. So that is one thing that they do, and of course, their content just made me freeze. That is how crazy the content is. It made me freeze, and it made me just stay here with a locked in syndrome, I guess, right now. And thank you again for being a part of this VTuber showcase, Naoki Inari. And I hope this gets a little bit more eyes on you, and I hope it gets you a little bit more of exposure that you deserve. That is all for right now. Of course, comment, like, and subscribe down below. Thank you for being here. Of course, I love having the conversations with you guys. I love having these things with you guys, and I do appreciate it whenever you guys do comment. Take a look at my description for my socials. There's a Discord, there's Twitter, there's other places that you can check me out, Twitch, etc. And also check on your screen right now, because there might be a video that you might enjoy. Thank you.